I used to think the people who seemed cold or distant just didn't like me. Me replaying conversations in my head, trying to figure out what I said wrong, wondering why the energy shifted the moment I walked in, wondering why some people would shut down or get weirdly competitive out of nowhere. I took it personally every single time, and then I learned something that completely reframed how I see those moments. Psychologists call it the social comparison reflex. When someone perceives you as having something they want, whether it's composure, certainty, or just the ability to hold eye contact without flinching, their brain activates a subtle threat response. They don't hate you, they're intimidated by you, and they will never, ever say those words out loud. They show it in other ways, ways you might be misreading as rudeness or disinterest. Here are the 7 signs someone is secretly intimidated by your confidence. Sign 1, they minimize your wins immediately. You share something you're genuinely proud of, a project finished, a boundary you held, a moment you handled with grace, and before the sentence even leaves your mouth, they're already deflating it, calling it luck, changing the subject, finding the one tiny flaw in the thing you just accomplished. Psychologists call this downward comparison. When your light makes them aware of their own shadow, their first instinct is not to clap, it's to dim you just a little, just enough so they can breathe again. It's not that they think you don't deserve the win, it's that watching you win reminds them they stopped trying. Sign 2, they go silent when you walk into the room. Not the comfortable silence of people who know each other well, the kind of silence that feels like a vacuum. The conversation was flowing, there was laughter, and then you appear, and suddenly everyone is recalibrating, checking themselves. Myself, I used to think this meant I was the problem, that I was the awkward one. But here's what I know now. Confident energy resets the social dynamic. It forces people to level up or shrink back. And if they choose to shrink, it looks exactly like that, a sudden, heavy quiet. They're not ignoring you. They're intimidated by the new standard you just brought into the space. Sign 3, they over-explain why they can't do what you do. You mentioned you've been waking up early to get work done before the noise starts. Normal thing. Healthy thing. And they respond with a 5-minute TED Talk about their sleep schedule, their genetic inability to be a morning person, the cortisol levels, the science, the excuses. It's that your existence proves their excuses are flimsy. Psychologists call this cognitive dissonance reduction. Seeing you do the thing they claim is impossible creates a mental discomfort they have to resolve immediately. So they build a case for why they can't do it, hoping you'll nod along and validate their inaction. They're not explaining it to you, they're explaining it to the part of their brain that knows they could try harder. Sign 4. The backhanded compliment becomes their default language. This is the one that used to confuse me the most, because it sounds like a compliment. It has the shape of a compliment. I wish I had your confidence to just wear anything. It must be so freeing to not care what people think. The word just is doing all the heavy lifting there. It's a dismissal dressed up as admiration. It's their brain's way of admitting they see the confidence while simultaneously trying to frame it as reckless or naive. If your confidence was truly insignificant to them, they wouldn't need to qualify it. The qualifier is the tell. Sign 5. They copy you while pretending they don't. This one is so subtle you'll miss it if you're not looking for it. You start using a certain phrase, 3 weeks later, it's coming out of their mouth. You change your posture, they adjust theirs a week later. You set a boundary with someone, and suddenly they're experimenting with saying no more often, and they will never, ever credit you. Because admitting they're modeling your behavior would mean admitting they see you as an aspirational figure. And for someone whose ego is bruised by your confidence, that admission is a step too far. So they absorb your moves in silence, mimic the energy, and act like it was their idea all along. Imitation is the most sincere intimidation. Sign 6. They challenge you on things that don't matter. You say the sky is blue. They bring up the exact hex code of the sky and the atmospheric conditions that make it appear slightly periwinkle at dusk. They nitpick the details, they argue the semantics. This is not a debate about facts. It's a power calibration. You made them feel small by simply being comfortable in your own skin. Now they need to win something, anything, to restore the balance of the room. Confident people don't need to be right about everything. Intimidated people need to prove you're wrong about something just to feel like they're standing on even ground. Sign 7. They perform busyness around you. You ask how they've been, and instead of a normal answer, you get a performance of exhaustion. Oh my God, you have no idea. I'm literally drowning. I have 12 emails, a call at 4, and I haven't eaten since breakfast. This is a defense mechanism. Your confidence reads a stability, and if they feel unstable, they preemptively build a wall of busyness so you can't look too closely. It's a way of saying, I'm not lazy, I'm not failing. Look at all this movement. But confident people understand that busyness and progress are not the same thing. And when someone feels the need to prove their worth through exhaustion, it's usually because they're standing next to someone who doesn't need to prove anything at all. And that contrast is terrifying to them. Final truth. Here's the thing about being intimidating that nobody tells you. It is not your job to shrink so other people can feel tall. Me spending years softening my edges, making myself smaller, laughing at things that weren't funny just to make the room comfortable, that didn't make me more likable. It made me more exhausted. The people who are intimidated by your confidence are not your people. Not yet, anyway. Some of them will rise to meet you. Some of them will stay in that small, quiet place. Let them. Your confidence isn't a weapon. It's just you, fully realized. And if that makes someone's nervous system light up with a little bit of fear, that's not a sign you're doing something wrong. It's a sign you're doing something right.